Before you walk down to guest services and have your automatic gratuities removed from your cruise accounts, just give me a few minutes, okay? Because I think a lot of people misunderstand what they're actually removing. And before you start in the comments down below, yes, many cruise lines allow you to adjust or remove the gratuities. And this video isn't about whether you can, it's about whether you should. Every time this topic comes up, I see all the comments. The cruise line should pay its employees. I'm removing gratuities and tipping cash only. I never ate in the main dining room, so why should I pay them or tip them? Or, the cruise was already expensive enough. Why can't I just remove said gratuities? It'll save me a bunch of money. And honestly, I understand some of those frustrations. So let's use Royal Caribbean as the example, alright? Currently, right now, the daily gratuity is $18.50 per guest in a regular stateroom and $21 per guest in a suite. So that means a family of 4 taking a 7-night cruise in a regular cabin is paying $518 in gratuities. And I know that's not pocket change. I think cruise lines need to be clearer about that expense when people are comparing prices. Because personally, I would rather see the gratuities included in the advertised cruise fare. That way, families would know the real cost of the vacation from the beginning instead of seeing another large charge later. But here's the part people often miss. That daily charge isn't just a tip for your room attendant and your main dining room waiter. Royal Caribbean says those gratuities are pooled and applied toward the compensation of dining room staff, bar and culinary teams, stateroom attendants, hotel service employees, and other crew members who help support your cruise. Norwegian explains its service charge in a similar way. It supports stateroom staff, restaurant staff, and behind-the-scenes crew members. And those are people you may benefit from without ever learning their names. Someone is washing the dishes, someone is cleaning the public areas, someone is preparing your food behind the scenes, someone is restocking supplies, collecting the towels, and helping keep thousands of passengers fed and comfortable. You may never meet these people, but they're still helping making your vacation possible. So this brings us to one of the most common arguments. I remove the automatic gratuities and give cash directly to my room steward and waiter. And I understand the intention. You want to make sure the people who personally helped you receive the tips. But handing cash to 2 people does not replace your contribution to the larger pool supporting all those other crew members. You're rewarding the people you saw while excluding the people you don't see. And now, we have the biggest argument of them all. The cruise line makes billions of dollars. It should pay its employees instead of asking passengers to do it. And you know what? I don't completely disagree. Cruise lines create this compensation system, and they should choose to include the entire cost in the cruise fare. But removing your gratuities after receiving the service doesn't force the cruise line to change its policy. It simply removes your contribution from the system the cruise line currently says supports its cruise compensation. Quietly removing the charge on the final night doesn't send a powerful message to the executives running the company. It just means your money is no longer going into the cruise support system. So if you want the system changed, criticize the cruise line, contact the company, mention it in your surveys, ask for pricing that includes gratuities from the very beginning. And I think that is a completely fair conversation to have. But removing them after the crew has already taken care of you all week isn't the way I would make that point. Now, before you come bashing me in the comments, are there legitimate reasons to adjust your gratuities? Absolutely. If you experience genuinely poor service, bring it up while you're still on board. Give the crew and their supervisor an opportunity to fix the problem. Norwegian specifically asks passengers to report service concerns immediately so they can address the issue during the cruise. So now you've reported the issues, the problem continues, nobody has resolved it. Adjusting the gratuity may be reasonable, and several cruise lines allow you to do that. But if one bartender was rude or one meal came out cold, removing every dollar of your daily gratuities affects far more people than the person involved in that one situation. The response should match the actual problem. Now also remember that the daily gratuities are different from the service charges added to drinks, beverage packages, specialty dining, and spa treatments. On Royal Caribbean, many beverage and dining purchases can also carry an additional 18% gratuity. Spa and salon purchases carry a 20% gratuity. Always check your receipt before adding your tip. You can leave something extra for exceptional service, but you shouldn't feel pressured to tip twice accidentally. So now you're probably wondering, what do I do? So here it is. We treat the standard gratuities as part of the cost of taking a cruise. We either prepay them, include them in our vacation budget from the beginning, then if our room attendant, waiter, bartender, or another crew member goes above and beyond, we give that person something extra in cash. That way, the larger team is still supported, while we personally recognize the people who made our vacation that much more special. Now, my opinion is simple. Cruise lines should make gratuities more transparent, and I wouldn't object to having them included in the advertised fare. But under the system that exists today, I'm not removing them just to make my cruise cheaper after the crew has already taken care of me all week long. Now, I want to hear what you think. Should gratuities remain automatic? Should they be included in the cruise fare? Or should every passenger decide exactly who receives their money? Let's discuss it down in the comments, because I already know people have some strong opinions about this one. So if you enjoy honest cruise conversations, travel tips and reviews, make sure you subscribe to Adventures with Adam, smash that like button, hit that ring-a-ling bell so you don't miss anything coming up next. And until next time, I'll see you on that next adventure.